Hopefully I'm in the right frame. So hey, what's up you guys? I'm gonna do this video real quick. So I went to the hematologist today. So we go to the hematologist and we kind of go in, and their office looks completely different, to be honest. It's smaller. It looks completely different than the oncologist that I had went to. Now mind you, I'm gonna turn the TV down some. I thought I turned it down all the way, but I guess not. But we go to the hematologist and I check in, and then they do my weight. I'm still 150 and like a few pounds or whatever, but I was working out, fasting, eating a vegan diet before I actually had gotten pregnant. So I'll tell you more about that. So we go in and we meet him. First, the nurse, I felt like it was a different thing with the nurse. The other nurses were more robotic. This nurse was more of like genuine. So we meet with him, and he's pretty much like, all right, so I can't guarantee anything with your pregnancy, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and tell you we can't do nothing for you. Your life is important. Your baby life is important. I understand, because you lost your daughter, that this baby is precious to you. And I was like, okay, now you, like, there's somebody that gets it. So it was like, okay, so I understand this baby is precious to you, but at the same time, your life is important. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. It's just that the other doctor wasn't trying to hear that at all. He was trying to get me to explain why I didn't want to go to the other doctor. And I couldn't explain it. It's more of where, you know, you guys, you probably understand where a doctor just comes in and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Instead of saying, what do you need? Because that's what you're there for. You're supposed to be there for saying, what do you need? And then I tell you what I need and stuff like that. So he pretty much was like, all right, looked at my scans. And like I said, I have the ones on each side of my windpipe. And that, I think it's like 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters, and the one up under my arm that's big is 3 centimeters, I think. And so he was saying that the one that's in the middle of my chest, we might be able to wait, or we might not be able to wait. He don't know just yet. But based on that and the fact that I have lymph nodes up here, if I don't have any in my stomach, that I would be stage 2A. So I'm hoping that when they do the MRI on Thursday, that they don't find anything in my stomach, because of the fact that if they don't find anything in my stomach on that MRI, I would be considered 2A instead of stage 3, and then they might be able to delay it a little bit if I can get this lymph node right here in my chest to kind of shrink down, or they might give me a lighter dose of chemo so that this can shrink, this can hold off until I have the baby. And so he was telling me about that, and he was telling me about the immunotherapies that they possibly could do. Now, it's one that starts with a P and one that starts with a B, but they can't do it while I'm pregnant. Now, he wanted to see if they could do it while I'm pregnant, but I had a feeling that they wasn't going to be able to, because I did research before. So based on the fact that he was trying to see, like when he was searching and looking for stuff, it made me feel a whole lot better. It made me feel like, okay, you know, maybe this is the doctor I need to be at, because of the fact that when it came down to him trying to figure something out, he was actually trying to figure something out, instead of just automatically. The other dude was like, well, next week we're going to get you a port, put you on ABBD. That was it. It wasn't no questions or anything, or, you know, stuff like that. So he goes through and he explains, and he says, like I said, that possibly after we have the baby, I might not even have to do chemo. I might be able to do immunotherapy. But if I am stage 3 and they find it down here in my stomach, that they would have to do chemo within the next 2 weeks, and then, you know, get a port and stuff like that. So I'm praying that I possibly won't have to do it anytime soon, and I could possibly have the baby ahead of time. Now, based on that information, I do have an appointment Friday, and I'm going to go to them. But based on that information, like I said, I felt like that's where I needed to be as far as a doctor, because of the fact that he was willing to work with what was being said or what I wanted in my care. He said, of course, like, he doesn't know anything about being a gynecologist or OBGYN or anything like that. But he said that with the stuff going on, that he can't promise anything with the baby, but at the same time, with it being 15 weeks and probably a little bit further along, once we have to do chemo, if we have to do it, then he will possibly, then the baby will possibly be okay. Now, he said that most of the stuff would not cross the placenta except for the B and ABVD. I forgot the name of it, and a bunch of it sounds like Transformers, but possibly that. And so it was just a good appointment. And that, let me see what else. So I said possibly a misdiagnosis, more secure about them talking about the baby, possible immunotherapy instead of chemotherapy. And then he felt around here. Of course, you can feel the lymph nodes that's in here. But then he felt in my groin, and there wasn't any. And I constantly feel that just to make sure there isn't any lumps or anything down there. But there is no lumps in my groin right now. So he's hoping that, and me too, and my husband and everybody else is hoping that I don't have any in my stomach. And pray for me, y'all. Pray for me that I do not have any in my stomach. And if I don't have any in my stomach, then it's just up here, and then it would be considered stage 2A. And so I said all that, and pretty much I have an appointment with him Thursday after the MRI, and it had to be later on Thursday because of the fact that he wants to get the MRI done and then get the results from the MRI. So I'm pretty excited. I'm praying hard, and I've been praying hard through this whole process. I've been asking my daughter for some strength, some guidance, everything I can possibly ask for in order to see possibly that this works out in my favor in some way. Like, okay, this happened, but it doesn't just stop you. And even if it does happen, it's just not going to stop me, because to be honest, the hardest thing I had to go through was losing my daughter. And I'm not saying that we made it through it, because you don't ever make it through it, but it made me stronger. And in this process of dealing with this, it's made me stronger. And so I thank y'all for watching, and I just wanted to give y'all an update on the possible mixed diagnosis and stuff like that. I'll be going for a third opinion on Friday, and then not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, is when I will have my appointment with the OB, which I will tell y'all about. And then I will have an appointment on Thursday with the for an MRI, and then the hematologist that I went to. Also, he was very confused by the fact that my OB is not monitoring me like every week or every, not, because usually, you know, for example, you might wait a month for an appointment. The OB I'm going to right now is a high-risk OB, and then I'll be going to another OB. So I don't understand what they're doing right now, but at the same time, he was very like, when I said they will see me on August the 8th. And I understand, like, y'all are not trying to take too much from our insurance, but at the same time, with us losing our daughter later on, and then us having this baby while I have a cancer in my body, I do need y'all to monitor me. But praying to high heaven that everything works out. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I'll be giving y'all more updates, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Tomorrow, if that counts as 26 or higher, tomorrow still counts. So, yeah, don't get it.